for the efficiency and effectiveness of the meeting. After we go one time around, we'll start from the right and go back to address anything you want to address that another board member has said. So if somebody spoke for something and you want to clarify, speak against it, that would be your opportunity. And once again, thank you for taking the time to be here. And board members, thank you for caring and for serving our community. We'll go ahead and get started with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And public comment. How many do we have? 4? Okay, so we only have 4. I'm going to call up all 4 people. If you'll please just stand in line at the podium. Who's timing? Do you time?
I time, yes.
Okay, thank you. So I have George Cabrera, Anthony Manzano, Mr. Tom Williams, and Mr. Crooks. You're up here? Okay.
Okay, George.
Where are you, Steve? Steve, can you go behind Mr. Crooks? You'll be right after Mr. Crooks. Thank you. Gama, are we ready with your time? Okay, George, you're on.
Got it? Okay. Good evening, fellow board members and also stakeholders and our immense guests this evening. My name is George Cabrera. I'm the marketing director for the community newspaper, the Community Beacon. I just wanted to give you a heads up. Our next issue, the deadline for all stories and articles is coming up on March 10th. The advertising, if you would like to advertise in our newspaper, will be on March 15th for the newspaper. And if you have not seen the paper yet, we also have copies on the back table there. Also, I want to make the announcement on behalf of the College Bridge Academy. They're having a movie night this coming Friday. It's going to be Friday, March 6th at 7 p.m. Donation, kids $150, adults $3. And also have flyers in the back. Thank you.
You had 2 minutes, sorry, I apologize. Are you
What?
done?
What?
1 more minute.
No. Okay. I just want to also mention the grand opening for the Big Saver Market. I just found out is coming toward the end of this month. Okay, so I know everyone's looking forward to that. Okay, that's this month. And I want to mention, I understood that the, what do you call it? The Al Sereno Veterans Monument, okay? There is a video out there, and mark this down, it's called mvpchannel.net, mvpchannel.net. That's for the board members and also for the audience. The video is made for the Al Sereno Veterans Monument. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, directors. My name is Anthony Manzano. This is my public comment period, and I believe they're going to be giving 2 minutes, so I'll have some time to express myself freely. Being a previous board member of this neighborhood council, I've noticed the actions of this previous board, or this current board, and sort of the actions are in conjunction with directions, instructions, or perhaps guidance, obviously, from the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment. The whole idea of representing the community is to stand for the community. We've seen some of the previous actions go against communities' decisions. We've seen, obviously, actions go against the bylaws. And we've seen this all the way up to this past action that occurred about a week ago I want to mention that we're going to be having CERT training coming up. So it's going to be imperative that you guys take a position for emergency preparedness. I don't know if all of you have taken the training, some of you have, but nonetheless, emergency preparedness should be at the forefront of your service to the community. I've been the Station 47 team leader for the last 3 to 4 years now, and I'll be leaving shortly because the training starts at 6:30 in Monterey Hills. We do cover Battalion 2, which services this area. So there one time was the chief here to speak to you guys, but obviously he had a call out, and that's part of the reason why I'm here. We need those radios for our communications. I also want to mention that now that the board has been reduced, hopefully you guys will make it quorum and on time. It's a little disrespectful to start the meetings a little bit late. I understand that 8 board members are needed for quorum, but I also want to address your attention to item number 8 on the agenda, where it specifically mentions no discussion or public comment will be allowed on any of the items. This is for the public or the stakeholders standing here behind me. A consent calendar is something where the board is allowed to take a position on multiple items at once. But if the directors or anyone from the public wishes to speak on this item, please submit your card, because it's not accurate when it says right here that no discussion or public comment will be allowed on any item. That would be a violation of the Brown Act, not allowing you to speak on a public comment item. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Crooks?
Good evening, board members.
Good evening.
I just want to make an announcement. In September is Latino Heritage Month. And just so you know, PBS has a new documentary that they will be airing for the first time across the country at the same time in September. And it's called On Two Fronts, Latinos in Vietnam. In case you're not aware of the people that went to Vietnam, 1 out of every 5 soldiers who were Latino that went to Vietnam died there. 1 out of every 3 was wounded there. And actually, I've seen parts of this, a part of this documentary. It's actually multi-ethnic. It talks about the culture of what went on and what happened and how people went to Vietnam. If you have someone that's in your family that knows and is aware of it, please, I will give you an update the next time and when exactly the dates and everything else. This is just to let you know and be aware of in September. This will be out and it'll be across the country all at the same time. And hopefully I can get the board to at least say that you are for this. And I'm not asking for any money or anything else, just an approval for it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Wakimoto?
Good evening. Why is Mr. Wakimoto here? Okay, there's a two-part. This is a two-parter for the community weekend for April and May. There will be a special Mother's Day feature called "If You Want to Make a Message," and sort of tell her how much you love her or whatever. Well, the message here will be $10, and if you want to include a photo, selfie, and otherwise that'll be $20. And the deadline for the submission for the May issue is March 17th. March 17th, on or before that. Okay. So, and the other part of it is that for all the event that will be held in Lincoln Heights, and it's open to everybody, including here in El Sereno, and that's the Special World Games 2015. That'll be sponsored by the El Arca Developingly Disabled People's Organization. That'll be celebrating their 50th anniversary this year, but it will be a special treat to host this event. And that'll be at, for information, you could contact Marjorie Crawley over at the center. Her number is 323-223-3079, okay? And we have information on the World Games. They're taking about so many volunteers. So we have an application, and for anybody who is under the age of 18, they have to get a release from their parents. Lincoln Heights will be hosting city for the delegates from the country of Germany for their housing at Cal State LA and assist them with touring, go to Hollywood, okay, and Santa Monica and what have you. And so we got information for that. Please, I hope you can all participate. I thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Williams.
Good evening. Tom Williams, 30-year owner occupant in El Sereno. We got past the election. SR 710 was somewhat of an issue. However, on Monday night, there will be a Cal State LA presentation forum about SR 710. I don't know what they'll have to discuss because we haven't gotten any information. And the EIR, which was supposed to be out last month, may be out this week, or maybe next week, or maybe after that. So we don't know what's going on. One thing that we do know that's going on is that they want to construct the biggest, deepest hole of the entire excavation in the lot next to Griffles. This will cause a problem, and it does not comply with what the board and what the city council said, not in LA. No surface construction in the city of Los Angeles. So I don't know what the board will do about the SR 710 during the next 3 months. I would highly recommend that you have a meeting, a workshop regarding it. Another thing that came up this morning, did anyone know that there was hazardous materials being excavated at the Soto Bridge construction site? No, I don't think so. But they had a change order for it this morning at the Board of Public Works for additional money, $650,000, so it's not much. But nobody knew. Does anyone know what's going on at the Soto Bridge? We don't know. So there's no schedule. They seem to have changed their operations and such like that, and they need to be brought to the board meeting occasionally, or at least something figured out, because they're going to start removing the big steel beams on the 12th. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chavez.
Cal State, I need to know the date and time that he was talking about.
Wait.
Cal State LA.
Mr. Estrada? We can ask him. We'll ask him after. We got to keep going.
I'm gonna forget later.
I will get it for you.
Good evening, board members. I just want to call attention again that our centennial is coming up on, I believe it's June 11th. So that's in a couple of months, and I haven't heard any real positive movements or any planning for a centennial. And I think that's a big thing for whether or not you're from this part or that part or whatever part. We're all encompassed as LA 32, and I think that everybody should get together and start talking about it. I remember for myself on the 90th, I produced the 90th, and it took a whole year of planning. So in a couple of months, it's like, wow. So hopefully everybody will start talking about it at least. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Estrada. That's all the public comment cards we have, unless somebody's telling me that they have a public comment. Is there anybody else after this gentleman? Okay, great.
Always like to make an entrance.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Ray Rodriguez. I work for the North Hollywood Grid Gang Intervention. And what I want to ask you, board, is who do I have to meet with the budget representative? Because we're looking to do a big event in El Sereno Park and bring in the unions so that way they could offer people with records, individuals that have felonies, misdemeanors, employment. So we have about 20 that want to come in and partner in with us, but we want to bring this to the park and make a big event. I talked to the churches already, they're on board, they want to participate. And I talked to our agency, we want to bring a game bus for the youth, and other people want to participate. So I want to see who do I need to speak to in the board, so that way we could collaborate and make this happen for our community to help those that are in need for a job. So thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you. That would be one of the committees. Maybe not so much budget and finance, but not even outreach. No, not so much outreach. Because that would be, I would say more arts and culture.
Arts and culture?
Because we're reaching the community. We're reaching those that are without employment and have criminal records as well.
You know, I mean, either, do you have my email?
No, I don't.
Either you can email and on the executive committee, we can put it on the next agenda and assign it to an appropriate committee?
That's good.
Or,
My card back there?
I have one, I'll get it to you. Oh, we're gonna go ahead and proceed with roll call.
Marlene Fonseca. Present. Capricia Vallecillo. Present. Michelle Corsantes. Here. Gamaliel Andrade.
Present.
Ruben Chavez. Cynthia Sandoval. Angela Duarte. Nicolas Carrillo. Agustin Carrillo. Sasha Perez. Cecilia Villarreal. Yoli Garcia. And me, Luisana Valdez. And Victor Junayala.
What did she say?